Hey everybody, this is Schrodinger Cat, and I've worked with Mythesque and we discovered this morning a way to do inlays pain-free, or basically to paint air with a voxel that kind of ignores the rules of voxels. What we're going to do is basically embed color data onto a voxel, but because of its location within the earth, it's not going to have any of the deformation rules associated with it until you touch it to something, which means you can use it to fill in spaces without deforming the voxels that create that space. And that sounds really weird and hard to understand, but once you see it, you'll completely understand. First, we're going to make a selection in the earth. And this is earth that was under the ground. I didn't heal it, I just went in and cut a hole in the wall. You're going to draw it out till it's 3 big. You want it to be 1 wide, and then you're going to use shift to bring up the arrows and push it into the wall. And you want to make sure you have the surface of this top voxel exposed. And now we're going to paint it. I'm going to use gold. You could probably use any material. I haven't really experimented before with a really super bleedy material, but I'm feeling lucky, so let's try ruby. So you see it's bled all over the place. Well, don't worry, we don't need that part. So now we're going to go back to the selection tool, and we're going to push in the selection until it's got that very backmost voxel that's in the earth. So it's like 2 surfaces deep. You can use one that's directly on the surface, but I found that one that is all the way in has absolutely no data associated with it whatsoever other than the color. And now you copy it and paste it. It looks like just a plain normal voxel, right? Except where air exists, I can paste it directly into air. I'm basically coloring air with the data of Ruby and making material appear there, but I guess because it's based off of Earth initially and has no actual information tied to it other than color, I can just fill up spaces with it. So I just painted Ruby directly into a hole. And as you see here, I just put Ruby in. It did not bleed. I haven't tried on something that would bleed. But once you've got this out, it has rules, so you can only use it once, the first time you pulled it from the earth. So I believe if I pasted this in after I've pasted it in an air, if I took this selection right here and put it other places, it would behave like a normal voxel. So let's see if I'm right. And as you see, since it's been touched by air, it's been given data for its shape, so it expands. And this is how it would normally have behaved if I put it straight into holes. It would have just filled out instead of doing this. So I copied again the one from the earth, and I'm going to paste it into this hole so you can see the difference. Now here's where it gets fun. It will conform to the space and just fill space, but not deform voxels near it. So you can fill circles with it. You can fill basically any shape. And what it's doing is it's giving the air the data, because this is an air voxel that I'm painting basically. So it's giving air the data of the color without giving it the shape of the voxel. So you see I'm just painting straight in the circle, and now I can copy paste that stuff and I can get a colored circle, or basically anywhere there's a hole and there's a space I can give it form. Well, I can't paste it directly into something. That's still something it won't let you do. And so basically I could, in theory, well actually in practice I've done it, fill this entire circle, and then I could copy it out and I'd have a solid circle that would be, ruby or whatever. Anything you've got a shape for, you can do it this way. This would work for cutting holes into the ground and doing inlays that way. You could copy, it's a zero data voxel technique basically, but this is kind of doing it in reverse. So it's really useful, for instance, if you want to know what is between a voxel. I got my friend Kimber's inlay here. There isn't actually a deformation. It looks like there is. That's the texture of the gold. So you can see I just painted it straight in without deforming it. Got a little bit on the edge there. I'm not sure entirely why that happens. Maybe someone smarter than me can figure it out. But yep. So that's a neat way to do inlays. All you have to do, you still have to cut the hole to put the color in, but this saves you from having to do a couple other steps, and as you can see, it's useful for a number of other things as well. Anytime you want to make a shape that's a negative of something in Earth, this is a way to do it.